Let me start with this. If the economy is doing so well, what does every decision feel more complicated than it used to? The grocery store feels like a calculation. Eating out takes a second thought. Even small plans now comes with a price check. Things didn't suddenly change. They just stopped feeling easy. And today I want to explain why that feeling makes sense, even while the economy keeps growing. When you hear the economy is growing, most of the time they're talking about the GDP. The GDP measures how much people spend, how much businesses invest, how much the government spends. That's it. It does not measure whether your paycheck covers more, or whether your rent feels manageable, or whether your groceries feel affordable. So the economy can grow on paper while everyday life still feels tight. That's where the disconnect begins. And yes, paychecks went up for many people, but prices moved faster and earlier. If prices rose around 20% over the few years and your income rose closer to 8 or 10%, you didn't catch up. You just fell behind more slowly. And when inflation cools, prices don't go back down. They just stop rising as fast. So today, households are still dealing with higher grocery bills, higher insurance costs, higher housing and utility expenses, with income that never fully closed the gap. That's why people say, I'm earning more, but it doesn't feel like it. Now let's talk about the stock market. Realistically, when markets hit record highs, that doesn't mean households suddenly feel richer. Stocks are built for long-term growth, retirement savings, money that sits for years. They're not designed to help with this month's rent, this week's groceries, next insurance bill. Most people cannot tap into those market gains without penalty or risk. And many households don't have large investments to begin with. So markets can look stronger while everyday budgets stays under pressure. And that's not a contradiction. It's how the system works. A lot of people are working, but they don't feel secure. Layoffs keep showing up across industries. Even skilled workers are finding that getting hired takes longer. That creates a different kind of stress. People start asking, if something changes, how long would it take to find work? Could I cover the gap? How much room do I really have? When that answer feels uncertain, behavior changes. People slow down. They delay plans. They avoid expenses that could push them over the edge. It's not fear. It's cautious in a job market that feels harder to trust. People aren't suddenly becoming savers. They're adjusting. They're eating out less often, choosing store brands over name brands, hunting for the bogus deals, switching grocery stores, splitting shopping trips, and yes, many are using credit cards to cover gaps when cost jumps unexpectedly. And it's not about overspending. It's about managing cash flow in a world where prices don't line up cleanly with income anymore. That's everyday reality for a lot of households. So here's the question to sit with. If growth keeps showing up in the numbers, but relief keeps missing the household budget, what does doing better actually means? Until income prices and stability starts moving together, this tension stays. And that space between the headlines and real life is where this story continues. Thank you for watching.